Hey, consider this your invitation to the inaugural Mountain Craft Film Festival. Films, movies, motion pictures, whatever you call them, they're coming to Clarksburg, West Virginia this coming September 29th and 30th. 4 feature-length films by local filmmakers, as well as countless short films from Appalachia for Appalachia. Not to mention food trucks, artisanal vendors, networking opportunities, an immersive virtual reality experience, and much, much more. All under the roof of the beautiful historic Robinson Grand Performing Arts Center. Purchase passes now at mtncraft.com/film festival. Sign up for our newsletter to stay up to date with festival news. And don't miss out on a single story these voices have to tell. Sorry.
WV Uncommon Place. This podcast is a variety podcast that houses numerous series to cover mental health, empowerment, podcast framework, and various intimate theories to get to know the hosts. Along with occasional movies reviews and dives in pop culture with our event podcast episodes. The Uncommon Place digs into bringing guests on that stories don't fit the mold and are very different. WV stands for the great state of West Virginia, and every quarter we cover something in West Virginia. Stacey and myself, JR, are your hosts, so please come along for this venture to Uncommon Place.
Welcome to West Virginia Commonplace. This is JR once again with you, and we have been covering the death of cinema. This is part 3. This is probably the most important part of this thing, and it's the rising cost of movie theaters and like the rising cost of tickets. Over the years, the cost of attending movie theaters has steadily risen. From ticket prices to concessions, the overall experience of going to the movies has become a significant consideration for many movie goers. Let's begin by examining the different elements contributing to the rising cost of movie theaters. First and foremost, ticket prices have been a significant increase. The average cost of a movie ticket has far surpassed inflation rates, outpacing the rise in income for many individuals. The trend has made it increasingly challenging for families and individuals on a tight budget to afford regular visits to the cinema. Additionally, the cost of concessions has risen substantially. Popcorn, soda, and candy prices have skyrocketed, with some theaters charging ridiculous prices for these items. While concessions have traditionally been a key source of revenue for theaters, the marked up prices have caused frustration among consumers, leading many to seek alternate options, such as bringing their own snacks or opting for cheaper concessions outside the theater, or, like they say, bringing in your own stuff on Okey-doke. Me personally, the rise in costs made me go buy a projector. Furthermore, the prevalence of premium experiences and add-ons has contributed to the rising costs. The introduction of concepts like IMAX 3D, definitely that 3D, and luxury seating has allowed theaters to offer enhanced viewing experiences, but at a higher price. While these offerings can provide a unique and immersive experience for some moviegoers, others feel that they are being priced out of traditional cinema experience. Another significant factor in the rising costs is the increase in production and marketing budgets of blockbuster films. With studios investing heavily in big budget films, the pressure to recoup the expenses falls on the movie theaters and ultimately the moviegoers. So this financial burden is often passed on to the audience in the form of higher ticket prices. In recent years, the rise of streaming platforms and on-demand services have also played a role in the declining attendance at movie theaters. With the convenience and affordability of streaming, many viewers prefer to enjoy movies in the comfort of their own home, the ability to access these big libraries like always. While the rising cost of movie theaters has unexpectedly had an impact on attendance, it is essentially to consider the potential consequences of the death of cinema. Movie theaters offer a unique communal experience that cannot be replicated at home to some people. The excitement of watching a movie in a theater has a certain nostalgia for us. And even for me, it was cool when I was a kid going to see Batman and Dick Tracy. That's where it goes back to me. That's when I had the greatest experience in the movie theaters, because back then you had themed popcorn bags that were made like Batman or Dick Tracy. There were encouraging things to make me want to go to a theater. And the loss of traditional movie theaters has caused like a rift with me. And the theatrical release window, which is so small now, if you don't go see the movie in the first 30 days, it'll be out on VOD or video on demand very soon. Another factor, though, is that the small marketed theaters, because I've actually had one close on me now, the Lafayette close on me, caused a huge rift with me because it was such a great place, but it was no reason for it to get swallowed the way it was. Basically, the company didn't want to keep the lease with the movie theater. They wanted to jack the prices up, and the theater couldn't afford it. They were just a nice place to work out. Now, I will say this. Theaters have done this stuff to make things a little bit more affordable. They have discounted tickets. They do special promotions, loyalty programs, or a few things that they've done to broaden the audience and make movies more accessible. But the one thing that they failed in was the movie pass. The movie pass was not a pandemic thing. It was a 2018, 2017 thing. The movie pass screwed up movie theaters because it would offer certain types of movies you could see at certain periods of time. And in doing so, it seemed like this worked out as a great thing. But in turn, this turned into something that was really, really bad. And the further and further you went along with these movie passes, it kind of, you can't have a la carte. You can have an a la carte type deal with movie theaters, but you can't have a buffet with movie theaters and movies. That just doesn't work. So, the main thing that I think needs to take place here is the ticket price can go however it wants to go, but the concessions and premium experiences have to be need the merit, and warrant me to go spend money. So if I go to a movie theater and you, or like one of these bigger ones like in other states where they have the somewhere where you can eat, bowl, and all that stuff, yeah, you do something like that, yeah, that's putting everything in one nutshell. We have a place in Ohio called the Movie Barn. The Movie Barn does this thing exceptionally well. They offer a low rate on the movies. They offer arcade, basically everything you will get out of Chuck E. Cheese experience, all at the same time. Obviously, we know they truly don't make their profit on the movies, but having the movies there is something extra that warrants a profit. It only costs $4 to get into this movie, and it has certain times that it plays, and I'm fine with that. But that works out for me because the kids and everybody around can have something fun to do before they go to the Movie Barn and watch a movie. The Athena Grand, which is in Athens, another place, may not have the greatest seats, but its pricing and its concessions are all affordable. So when I take Stacy to the Texas Roadhouse or wherever, get her dinner, and then go take her to a movie, I've already done the standard JR issue date. And that's something that I wish could be reciprocated all around. But in general, getting back to this whole deal with the cinema, the future of it remains uncertain, but it's crucial for the industry to address the concerns about rising costs and finding innovative solutions to adapt to the evolving preferences and financial constraints of an audience. Collaborations with streaming platforms, or just doing something different, like actually taking some of those Netflix movies and putting them in the theater for 30 days or even 60 days would work out better. But once again, guys, I want to thank you for joining in this in-depth journey through the rising cost of movie theaters and its implications on the cinema industry. Stay tuned for more episodes that are going to be gripping and captivating here on West Virginia Commonplace. Hey everybody, this is JR from West Virginia Commonplace, and I am here to tell you about Anchor Nebula and their Go Anywhere series of projectors. They are some of the best projectors you can use when you're on the go, going camping, just even around the house. And these models include the Capsule 2, the Capsule 3 laser, and the brand new Mars 3. So definitely take time to go out and grab one of these projectors, and you will be immersed in an experience that you're not going to get anywhere else. Remember, Anchor Nebula is the way to go.
Please follow WV Uncommonplace on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, TikTok, where we have some great content, Facebook, LinkedIn. Hit up the merch store at onecommonplace.square.site. Join the email list from the website, and rate, subscribe, and give feedback from your favorite podcatcher. And lastly, thanks for listening, and tune into the next episode.